Three, two, one. Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday. The sun is out. It is clearly it's bright out, and yeah, I think today's going to be a good day. So I hope everyone's doing fantastic. So I got the forge up and running. Now, technically, it's done. I can, throw in some, some steel or some metal or whatever, and get it hot and work it. But it's not efficient yet. So the last couple times I've been down at the shop, that's what I've been trying to do. And once I map out all of the issues and stuff, then I'm going to try and get it working. And I'll do a video on that. Control, copy. Ooh, good morning, Alan, and good morning, Laura. I worked late so you can keep me company while I'm driving to my safe zone. That's funny. How you guys doing today? Let me get the chat up on the screen. Boop. Properties, yes. Okay. All right, chat is live. Let's hop over to chat. Let's clean up this area a little bit because it is just blah. Tried making some bracers yesterday, two days ago for. Good morning, Eileen. How we doing? I tried making some bracers for the shop just to see if that would help my hands at all or my arms, and it didn't. Alan, hoping to get my truck back today. Ooh, I hope you do too. That would be good. You're gonna have to come down to the shop one of these days to to check out the forge and see, see what your take is and see what if there's any issues that you can spot that maybe I can improve on. Let's see, Laura, Peachy Keen Jelly Bean. Ran out the clock, so I did the full 12. Oh, very good. And the Eve of Dense Locker. Oi. I'm going to guess that is Aaron. Maybe? So like I said, I got the forge done-ish. It's just a matter of finding the right couple things and getting it efficient. It definitely works. I made a knife, which I don't know where it is right now. I thought I had it right there. Ding ding chicken wing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Here it is. So let me switch down to the other view here, and we'll go over the knife and the different pieces of it and what's good, what's bad. There we go. All right, so you can tell on here it's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches long with a 3-inch blade. So nothing super special or anything about it. It's just a buck skinner, chamfer the top edges. It's a good thickness, made out of coil spring. I mean, you can see down here how inconsistent the hammer blows and stuff were. And that was me working as hard as I could. I couldn't get this past an orange heat. And this is all done with charcoal, so you got to keep what you call it. You got to keep in mind that I only had charcoal, so a lot of these little gradient bumps and stuff that you see are from latent charcoal when I sealed this whole thing with wax, just so I could keep it from rusting. Now, so far it keeps a decent edge, but I couldn't get it up to a critical temperature and harden it the right way. But I also didn't have oil to quench it, and I had water. So I'm not sure how much that changed the properties or not. So it does keep an edge. The file did skate across it, but it does tell me a lot just in the making it, and even the subsequent examination of it, where the insufficiencies are. Not bad. It'll do a good poke. But it's doing tests like this that kind of show me where the insufficiencies are, because you can work mild steel at a much lower temperature, but the higher the carbon, the harder the steel, the harder it is to work, so therefore you need more heat. So working this told me where a lot of issues were. Very good information to have. Now, I also have to keep in mind that it is middle of winter, and the shop is only getting up to like 40 some, maybe 50 degrees while I'm working. More than warm enough to feel good while you're actively moving and working, but the steel tends to think differently. So that's one thing I need to keep in the back of my mind. Roast Chris and his work. Yeah, pretty much. It's really not a roast, though, because for the amount of... This is just a test run, basically. It turned out well. It has a decent shape to it. Handle could have been refined a little bit better. Maybe swell this out into a pommel. And straighten it out a little bit. It's not super straight, but it's not really crooked either. They're just small things. But the main thing was the heating and how I could transfer the heat, and could I get a stable enough heat to get a good heat treat. And I couldn't. Got an okay heat treat. It wouldn't pass fortune fire. Test runs are the best. Yes, they are, Eileen. They teach you so much about the whole system that you're working in. It's a needed thing. I think it looks awesome. Well, thank you. A few more tweaks, and I think I'll have that area down for the time being. Once spring gets here, I'm going to rip the whole thing apart and build it back up basically from scratch. Rebuild the whole fire pot. I want a different geometry. I think I want to take the pull arm for the bellows and mount that to the ceiling. And I'm going to want to rebuild the bellows. There's just too many things aren't done well on it. So, and apparently the whole system needs to be way heavier I tried making it as light as possible, and that was a mistake. I actually had to clamp a lead block to the bottom of the bottom lung, and I'm often finding myself having to throw on a couple lead blocks onto the top lung to increase the pressure. Who knew? I figured, just push an air, just make it as light as possible. But that's why I did it as cheaply as possible too, because I knew this was just going to be a test. More airflow. Yeah. I also need to make an adapter because I'm using 2-inch pipe. 2-inch PVC pipe to run my air. But the hole in the the hole in the tire wheel, whatever I'm using, is like 3 1/8. So I'm trying to turn an adapter on the lathe to fit in there, because a lot of air is just not going up through the 2 air, but going out through, just outflow. So, fix that, change where the is, and then we're getting into a good range. And I also need to replace the string I have on the pull arm to the bellows. I need to replace that with a cable. That paracord, I'm using paracord right now, and I've already had to replace it 3 times. And there's a lot of stretch in it. So, but again, all testing, all figuring all this whole thing out. So I'm not really upset. But it's a very interesting data set I'm working with. It's 3 more weeks until spring. And I don't know about you, but I cannot wait. I'm using an air mattress pump for my bellows. Oh, that would definitely do it. And maybe about the same working a lot. Yeah. And Alan, that's what I actually used to use a vacuum cleaner motor. And maybe if I'm going to be doing heat treating, I should set up an auxiliary bellows of some sort, where I can have that vacuum cleaner motor, or that air pump or whatever, and have it so I can have that forced air, and just turn that on when I'm doing heat treating. But I think once I get all the bugs worked out of the system, and figure out where all the problems are, that might be in version 2.0. Because I also really like how quiet the hand bellows is. It's very easy on the ears. Three-quarter black iron pipe going into the fire pot. Yeah. So I need to increase pressure and airflow. So I think making the whole system heavier in the bellows will increase the airflow and the pressure, but also sealing off all the little cracks and inconsistencies, but also mounting the bellows in a way that it is it wobbles around a lot, and that loses that also loses a lot of efficiency, because you're fighting the wobble and everything. So there's a lot of things to be done, but it's also a fantastic learning experience. So for the next bellows, I'm going to be making hinges on it, putting hinges on things. I've melted steel with my setup. When I was in high school, I actually melted steel a bunch of times by accident. I was using rice coal. I built up the fire bricks, so it was more like a blast furnace than a forge. And I had the vacuum cleaner motor, and wow, that thing burned through coal, burned through everything. It was incredibly hot. I'm not sure if I want things that hot, because I was able to burn through a 1/2-inch bar in 25 seconds. And I'd go through a 40-pound bag of coal in 16 hours of continuous forging, which was about 3 days for me. So a lot of heat, but a lot of wasted heat. And the good thing with the bellows is once I'm done cranking it, you know, the fire kind of gets down low, and I feel like I have more control over it. It also saves fuel for longer. So there's pros and cons to each type of setup. I think I might do a hybrid though. I think a hybrid's the way to go. So I'm going to need to get a one-way air valve. Actually, let me write this down. No, I'll remember it, or I can just come back to this video. That's a great thing about doing the videos. Let's see, what else is there that's interesting? I'm still working on getting into that Sharpen Carbondale. I've had a lot of missteps for one reason or another with my leather work. I don't know why. I need to do some serious maintenance on the lathe. Like I said, I'm trying to turn that adapter piece, but it's just not working. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe the belt isn't tight enough. Something's wrong. It like half works. So cheap temper process would be a toaster oven. That is something I might have to get for the shop, both to temper with and also to make toast in the morning. Yeah, because I want to make like most of the products I have in mind to make they don't need any heat treating, but I do want to do what you call it? I do want to do, you know, small knives and stuff and herb choppers, things like that, which do require heat treating. So yeah, you have to get my lathe up and working. Yeah, there's a lot of things I need to get working in the shop. But you know, every day I'm in there, I get 1 or 2 tasks done, which is good, and you know, starting to get cleaned up a little bit. You know, my main focus this last couple of weeks has just been spending some quality time by the fire. And you know, with the weather starting to break, I can start getting some other things out and done. So soon everything's gonna suck together and pull together really nicely. It's just a matter of timing and everything else. And I hate waiting. So I need to find, and I think I did, a good use for these little leather buttons that pop out when you stamp. Not stamp, punch holes. Let me see if I can get a bunch to pop out here. These little guys. They are the absolute bane of my existence. There's a billion of them everywhere, and they are just a big pain in the butt to clean up. Now, one thing I found for the larger ones, if you're doing like costuming and stuff, and you want to make something that's that looks like it's screwed together, even if it's completely leather, you can take the larger ones and, you know, toss them in a water pan, and then just take a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and put in either the flat or Phillips indents into the leather, and then glue that piece onto what you're working on, and it looks like it's a leather screw basically. And I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing with that foam I work with, that high density foam. But instead of, you just heat the screw end up and press it in, or you can make a small score and then hit the whole thing with a heat gun. Oh dear, that was a bad idea. Okay, not going to do that one anymore. I took the thing and I was clearing out the punch heads, and as I was going in, they all gave way all at once, and I put a punch mark in my fingertip. Ouch. Alan, going to be starting a mead batch today. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Chocolate strawberry. How do you do chocolate mead? You just add cocoa powder to it? I'm guessing if you're using cocoa powder as a back sweetener, I mean, it's not super sweet, but if you add a bunch, you'll definitely get a good chocolate flavor. Interesting. Cocoa nibs. Oh, okay. You're gonna have to call me when that's finished, because I would love to sample that. Also, I still need to get this thing to you. Your hair thing. It's all finished and waiting for delivery. So I've got a new bed, king size bed, and it's like my first bed in like 18 or 20 years or something. Good morning, Jill. And oh my God, like, I know you should replace your bed every couple of years, and well, shoeless cobbler problem. Anyways, we finally got the new bed, and oh my God, my back is in heaven. Most of my aches and pains waking up are gone. So it's funny to me how such a little thing can have such a big impact. But that means I need to make a new bed. And I have designs for one. But I'm just going to make... It's been way too long since ours was replaced. Yeah. It's always too long. Every time. Because that's the last on your priorities. But since it's going to be this big complex thing, I intend on doing a full build video on it, on each piece, explaining it, blah blah blah. Because it's basically going to be a modified 4-poster bed in a Viking-esque theme. So all the side panels and stuff, the one you made us is fantastic. I'm glad you enjoy it. So I'm going to do a light carving on everything, basically. So pretty, and I love my hammock. Good. Do a light carving on everything and run an integral lighting system and stuff through it. So it's one of those things that's going to be it's going to be a lot. Thankfully, I have a few people helping me and working with me, so you're going to get a full introduction to them at a certain point. Yeah. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is do a video of what the space looks like that I have to fill, and then do the design and sketches of everything that's in there, and then take that and make it a SketchUp model. Yeah. And then from there, that'll be the first video. Then from there, building all the separate components and stuff, and then putting it all together. So it's going to be a thing. It's definitely going to be a thing. That build will probably end up being at least 2 or 3 videos, because the finials at the feet are going to be carved animal heads. So I'm going to do like Fenrir for mine. Mick wanted a unicorn. So just doing that whole thing, the layout, the setup, sourcing the right materials and stuff is going to be, doing those is going to be its own video. Because I want the horn to glow on the unicorn, and I want Fenrir's eyes to glow, which means I'm going to have to embed lighting inside of the wood carving, which is going to be difficult. And then from there, I'm also going to have the eyes either be removable or seat from the back. The same thing with the unicorn. It's either going to have to come up through, or we're going to have to find some way to get it in there and seat it. There's a lot to do. Oh, I needed that. Just swinging that hammer yesterday. So I've been doing day on, day off, day on, day off at the shop. And that has definitely saved my joints and my muscles. I forgot how much it kills your forearms and shoulders. It just abuses your arms altogether. But if I keep up with this, I'm going to be ripped by summer. And good morning, Jolene. How are you doing today? Poured resin with light source in the core. What I'm thinking, and pardon the super rough sketch here, but let's get over to here, slide down. All right, so what I'm thinking is the posts are all going to be on a 4x4. So you're going to have, you know, your carving. Right there, and you know, this piece is going to be recessed a little bit. Alan, I need to do another crafty day. Have a few projects in mind. What kind of projects are you thinking about doing? Now I'm thinking about doing everything off a 4x4. So this is a 4x4. So let's say for the horse, the unicorn, start with a 4x4 like that. And then I think I need another one here, and then like another one down here. All right, so we're going to start with that, and then from there you got the horse's head. The eyes. Comes down. Got the ears, the mouth. You know, whatever, the whole jazz there. Then I can take a piece of like 2x4, you know, or 2x material, whatever, and you know, give them a little hair. You know, whatever. So you got that, and this is probably going to be inset like that. So this whole head is removable. So I don't have to have this done to get the bed installed, which is a good thing. And then from here, you have the horn. And of course, it's not just going to be round. I'm going to put those, you know, swirl in there. So if I'm creative with how this is placed, the hair section here, I can hide any connection points I have for the unicorn skull, or for the horn, which is good. Now if I take that horn and I bring it in, I know I need to have a seat there. And have a cavity in here. All right. So then you got that guy going. And from there, what I can do is run the electricity just straight through here and down into the 2x4. Wherever it meets the cross brace, I can pull the power back from there. So doing a sketch like this, now I'm going to have to get it scaled and stuff to do it the right way. But this is going to tell me a lot of things, you know which 2x4s I need, which pieces I need to add onto it, where do I need to remove from. So like for this example, I need 3 2x4s. The ears have to be removable, so I'm going to have to carve those separate. The hair is going to have to be removable. How is this going to get laid up? Things like that. So this is just a very basic sketch. This whole thing's going to change, just an example. And then for Fenrir, instead of having this here, I'm going to have 2 LEDs, and then it's going to be his eyes, which would be the glowing element instead of the horn. Now, if I can get this as some sort of an opalescent translucent acrylic, that would probably turn the easiest on the lathe. Maybe I went from the forehead to the tip to be about 18 inches. I'm gonna have to look at it proportionally, maybe 12. So somewhere in that range. I think that would be really good. And then I want it to be at least 1.5 inches diameter. This in here to increase the projected luminescence so nothing gets absorbed into the wood is going to have to be painted like a bright white. Or they even have chrome paint now, which, as long as you seal the holes, all the fibers, all the grains and stuff in the fibers, you seal that, you can go over with this chrome paint. And that might even be better than just painting white. The ear here has to be a separate piece. The hair has to be a separate piece. All things that need to be considered and thought through. But the design of these and both of these and the bed itself will all be a whole video. So Alan, couple of leather paddles with wood handles, split twice, as well as studded ones with 14-ounce leather I have. Ooh, maybe some carved paddles. Ooh, dockside stuff. Pretty cool, though. Can't wait to see some of the projects you guys come up with. It is so cool watching, like, all my friends be so cool and crafty with shit. It's amazing. I love it. So, since Jolene gave me this little bracelet, it's given me the bug to make mail again. And before that, I need to come up with a better mandrel system, a better way to cut the rings, and I think if I'm going to do it, I think I might as well do it riveted instead of just butted. Just so once it's done, I never have to worry about it again. Now, previously I've used iron wire, and I think that works pretty good. I don't think it needs to be, anything super special. Maybe for system tests I should run aluminum or something. But that work hardens really fast. So I don't know. That's a great craft to let your hyperfixation take over on. Also, really fine motor skills, setting all those tiny little rivets. If you have a shirt of 10,000 links, full Huberk. Yeah, that could be a lot. But I definitely want to start working with mail some more. Oh goodness, we're almost out of time. Here I've been blathering away all morning. So, does anyone have anything planned for the day? I know Alan's going to be doing his crafts and starting his his chocolate strawberry mead. That just sounds so decadent and delicious. It really does. Does anyone else have any plans? Should be a pretty decent and moderately warm day. 40 something, I think I saw on the weather, and sunny. Mostly just organization. Yeah, I need to do that too. But the pile's starting to shrink. The pile's starting to shrink a little bit, so I'm making headway. Slowly but surely getting there. Trying to get the baby's door to close. Yes, and I apologize. I haven't been able to make it over there the last couple of days. It's just trying to troubleshoot everything at the shop, and then also, little man and everything else. It's just been a nightmare. I might be able to do Monday or Tuesday. Come take a look at it, and then come back the next day and get it fixed. Eileen, waiting for paint to dry on a stand I refurbished, staining a stovetop cover after it's carved. Ooh. Are you getting into carving now? And going as a support with a friend prom dress shopping for her daughter. Oh. I didn't know you were getting into carving. That's pretty cool. So how are you doing the carving for it? Are you, chiseling it? Are you using carving knives? Did you get yourself a router? Also, that table is still waiting for you, if you still want it. So guys, we are starting to run out of time. I think I'm just going to have a nice family day today. It's a Sunday. I'm going to enjoy it. Take the day off from doing anything after this. Anything shop related or Knightsmith related. Just a day with the family. It's needed. Not sure what we're going to end up doing. Clean and organize here a little bit and then get out. Should I say cutting out design? I have to find the time to come and get it. I didn't forget about it. Oh, so it's going to be a decal you're putting on there and then staining it? Or painting it? Staining it. And I have to find the time and come and get it. Alright, as long as you still want it, I'll keep holding it. That's fine. It's not the best thing on earth, but it does, for a $100 saw and you get a router. You have cross-cut sled, you have an outfeed table, blah, 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 blah. Until you're able to upgrade to a full shop, it's a pretty helpful little thing. I don't know, the last couple months have kind of just kicked everyone's ass, so, I get it. I know it's only the end of February, but it feels like we've been in 2022 for like 3 years. Yeah, this has been a long 2 months. So, I'd have to thank all my patron supporters over at patreon.com/Knightsmith. Being able to run these tests and stuff takes time, takes materials, takes everything. So, I wouldn't be able to do it without my patrons. So if you like seeing everything progress and you want to start getting, more updates and stuff, go over to patreon.com/Knightsmith and subscribe. Even $1 a month really, really helps. Let's see. Eileen, decal, the knife cutting alone, the design to make a slice when I stain it. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Leaf cutting along the design. Alright, yeah, so it does a hard border there. Makes sense. Then I can add the second stain color. Ooh. Well, please show me when you have it done, because I love seeing the stuff you guys make. It absolutely thrills me. Yeah, that's cool. Alright guys, so we're out of time. Thank you for watching. Please send me all of your pictures of all your projects and stuff. I love seeing it. I love seeing your projects. It really does fill me with joy. So guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I do appreciate you. And thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time. And I'll see you guys soon.